So I'm sat inside the, we call it the pavilion, the outhouse, and the swallows are buzzing around, and I'm sitting down on a chair. The A6700 is doing a time lapse. That big moody clouds in front of us, including over there. The A1 is down there with the 200 or 600, and the amount of swallows that keep coming past just in front of me. I was hoping it'll want to do it, but the noise they make when they sort of swoosh past is quite incredible. It's literally. But yeah, this video is literally about clouds and how fascinating they are, because they can make or break a photo. That's one thing, and I think they're just incredible. We have everything from no clouds in the sky, so it would be completely blue, to the odd little white fluffy cloud, to high pressure stuff, low pressure stuff, everything in between. And then people are going to be saying about condensation trails from planes and things like that, which obviously is hot air coming out the back of a plane, which then freezes because it's like minus 60 degrees up there. So yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, just thought I'd make a video on clouds just because they're so cool at the moment. I'm watching that one there, getting a bit excited and rising up. It's quite amusing. But if you stand there and just sort of stare long enough, you can actually see it all moving. And that's the brilliance of a time lapse, because we can, at the moment, the A6700 is doing a photo every 2 seconds. So obviously we are capturing every 2 seconds change, basically. So on the A6700, you have, and a lot of the cameras now, you've got the little rocker dial on the back, photo, video, and S&Q. If we go to S&Q, we get on the screen here, slow and quick, which is slow motion, and time lapse. This is a built-in time lapse which creates a video for you at the same time, rather than the interval mode, which will take photos and then stores them as images, and then later on in software you can actually export as a video. So it's a much easier and quicker way of doing it. So if we go into there, we can then set a shot up and literally just push the record button, and we'll leave it going, and it'll give you an interval time there. Standard out of the box is doing a 1 second interval, but we don't want that. We want to go a little bit longer, because it makes it go a little bit quicker. So S&Q mode, we just go to time lapse below and go into there, and then you've got frame rate settings, record. So I'm recording it in 140 megabits per second at 422 10-bit, and then we can go into frame rate. We got it at 30 frames per second, which is absolutely fine, but I'm going to do a 2 second interval. So 5 seconds, shooting a time required for a 5 second movie recording is 5 minutes. And then if we drop it down to 1 second to get a 5 minute recording, it's 2 minutes 30 seconds. So we're basically doubling the time, or slowing the time down by half, or speeding up, should we say, when we play it back. So there we go. So we're literally going to do that. We've got the stuff ready, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the screen, which actually shuts the camera off in the setting I've got it at. You can turn that off, but what I'm now going to do is push the shut button and it pops back on. If I can get it in there. There we go. So we can see the screen, and then all we do is push record. We can get it in there, and that's now recording. Thing is, when you take your when you've got the screen shut, that's off. When you take your eye away from that screen, that shuts off as well, so it preserves your power for a lot longer. So that's why I've done it like that. So I can just leave the camera now running and come back in, say, an hour or something, and see how it's done. So there we go. Until then, I'm going to be photographing the swallows and butterflies that are cruising around at the moment. Right, as you can see here, the grass is moving very quickly, as are the clouds. But what an effect it creates. It's amazing. Looking up to the sun as the cloud covers the sun. I've done multiple shots here just because I wanted to get as much variations of shots that I possibly could in a period of time, and pretty much used the whole battery up doing it. But as you can see here, this one's quite a long one. It's quite cool, but you can see how the light's changing. So I left it, I had the camera in manual, so when it got lighter and darker, the camera stayed the same, so you get the effect of it being sunlight with the cloud cover and everything. So it really does give it more of a realistic feel. Otherwise, if you have it in auto, it would be adjusting the exposure constantly, so it wouldn't always look a bit samely. That's how I like to do it anyway. This was cool. This cloud was epic, just coming across and just moving around. I really want to do some more and spend some proper time doing some proper long ones over a different location, not just out the back of my house. But it's still very effective. It's just something you forget you've got in the camera a lot of the time. You know, we're so engrossed in taking wildlife shots or landscape shots and stuff like that. You think, actually, what about a time lapse? You know, everything from astro stuff to the clouds, water coming in and out the tide. You know, from a building being built. You know, whatever, you can do so many different things with it. So a time lapse is really, really quite cool to do, and just watching the clouds come alive was really, really cool. As you can see, it's just memorizing. I think that's the right word. Like this, it's just absolutely bonkers. But as you can see, every now and again, you see like a bird or something go through the shot, so you get a little bit of a thing. Oh, there we go, random exposure change. But you can see the cloud shadows going across the ground. That's why I didn't want to change the exposure automatically. I just wanted to lock it and let the lights change accordingly, so you do see a lot more dramatic shadow change, like into the trees, onto the grass, and it all changing, so which is less obvious if it's in auto. And the last one is a Chinook helicopter blasting past a couple of minutes after I'd actually pulled the drone down, which was quite lucky in some respects. Sort of being, you know, doing the right thing, but I didn't even hear it coming because it was so low through the valley. It was mad. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well, and I'll see you soon for another one.